I would like to extend a very warm welcome to our principal, Dr. C.A. Kishore Pishori, Vice Principals, Asha Bhatt ma'am, Dr. Mani Iyer, Dr. Ashish Jani, our Chief Guest Speaker, Wonder Woman, Miss Shilpa Vora, teaching faculty and students to this Wonder Women Summit 2021. Tennyson has rightly said, many things are wrought by prayer than world dreams of. So we begin this program by invoking Goddess Saraswati and by recital of Saraswati Vandana. May I request Mr. Jatin to play Saraswati Vandana for all of us? So, we begin this program by invoking Goddess Saraswati and by recital of Saraswati Vandana. May I request Mr. Jatin to play Saraswati Vandana for all of us?
Ya kundendu tusharhar
by invoking Goddess Saraswati and by recital of Saraswati Vandana. May I request Mr. Jatin to play Saraswati Vandana for all of us?
Ya veena vardanda mandita kara Ya shvet paindu tusharhar Yavanachyutam Shankaram
Now, I would request our principal, Dr. C.A. Kishore Pishori, to enlighten us with his views on International Women's Day.
Good morning, Anjali Madam, Principal, Vice Principal, Mani Iyer Sir, Asha Bhatt, Ashish Jani in absentia, my lovely teaching faculty, students, and the non-teaching staff. It is said the source of divine energy is the woman itself. And I'm lucky that we are not having a one-day summit, but a 3 days women's summit, super women summit, initiated by WDC chairperson, Ravneet. And we are lucky to have a lovely personality, a chief guest, Shilpa Vora, Madam. I welcome you to my college, Srimati Mithibai Motiram Kundani College, which is named after a revered lady of mother of Principal Kundani sir, who was pioneer in setting up 14 colleges across Mumbai and Thane district. We have been accredited twice A grade, and we hope to continue our march towards building a greater institution in the Queen City of Mumbai. Shilpa Madam, let me tell you that my president, Kishu Mansukani, has sent a special greeting for the women present. He said, be yourself, accept yourself, value yourself, forgive yourself, bless yourself, express yourself, trust yourself, love yourself, and more importantly, empower yourself. Today, women are not in one sphere of life, but they've outgrown and outshone in all spheres of life. Basically, they are multitasking. And for this multitasking, from my side, I would send a very small and a sweet message to each woman, because you believe in Navdurga. So I say each lady has to prioritize his work. Today is a Monday. For the week, he has to prioritize her work. She has to divide her work between herself and the family members who are going to do work with her. So she is a homemaker. That's most important. And the third thing which she has to do is to distribute and delegate this work not only among the family members, but among the colleagues. When I say delegate, it has to clearly be delegated with authority and responsibility. Because outsourcing is very important. And if you can outsource the work, you have to only supervise the work. And if you supervise correctly, I think your work is mostly done. And at the end of the week, on Saturday, see what task you have achieved. Cancel those tasks which you have achieved. As I said in the beginning, prioritization is always important. And on Sunday, you can pat yourself at the back that you have achieved all your tasks in a proper manner. This is a message from my side. A very, very happy Women's Day. And for the next 3 days, I think all the faculty members and all the students who have joined would enjoy each and every minute of this 3-hour Women's Summit. Thank you, Ravnit Madam. Thank you, Shilpa Vora Madam. And thank you, Vice Principals, for making such a wonderful program. Thank you.
Thank you, Principal Sir. Now, I would like to invite Vice Principal Asha Bhatt Ma'am to share her views with everyone present here.
Thank you, Anjali. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to say a few words on this special day. I wish all of you happy International Women's Day. Now, being a woman is something one should be proud of. According to me, every day we should celebrate our womanhood. Now, woman is always special, as W stands for wheel of family, which she bears on her shoulder. Ocean of kindness, knowledge, mirror of children, address of love, and navigator of lifeboat. So she fits into all these roles effortlessly. Multitasking is her strong point, as Principal Sir said. As today is declared as International Women's Day, it is special. So let us feel special being a woman. I will conclude my few sentences with a quote which says, not exactly a quote. As a woman, let's pledge not to be the source of pain to any other women around us. Let's avoid seeing another gender as a competitor or a challenge, and enjoy the journey of womanhood together. Let's enjoy our existence and spread the vibration of love and kindness around. So happy International Women's Day to all. And thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Asha Ma'am. Now, may I request our committee member, Ms. Prajakta Paralkar, to speak about Women and Gender Development Cell of Srimati MMK College.
Yes, sure, Anjali ma'am. Thank you. Very good morning, all of you, and very happy International Women's Day. Women empowerment and gender equality are the most important requirements for the enlistment and progress of our nation. The Women Gender Development Cell of Srimati Mithibai Motiram Kundanani College of Commerce and Economics has both faculty and students of the college as its members and works with an aim to create a gender sensitized community within the campus as well as in the society. The cell endeavors to involve both male and female students in its awareness and sensitization activities so as to foster a healthy man-woman relationship based on mutual trust, respect, and cooperation. The Women Gender Development Cell seeks to create a gender just society by sensitizing the students and faculty to uncover the implicit biases that are inbuilt into the society we inhabit. This endeavor has started by organizing various guest lectures like Human Rights in Indian Constitution, which gave an interesting insight on the Constitution of India, which is based on the principles of liberty, equality, fraternity, and justice. The Women Gender Development Cell has also conducted a talk on mental health issues in today's youth. A special lecture conducted for the teaching and non-teaching staff on role of nutrition in women's health. Team Women Gender Development Cell continued with their endeavors even during the lockdown period by conducting various motivational talks and yoga workshops. This helped all of us to stay strong and positive during these challenging times. Thank you. Now I will request Ravnit San ma'am to introduce the speaker.
Thank you, Prajakta. It's a real pleasure for me to introduce our guest speaker for the day, Dr. Shilpa Vora. She is the Head Research and Development, Global Lifebuoy and Skin Cleansing, South Asia at Unilever. She holds a BSc Microbiology from Mumbai University, PhD from University of Cincinnati, USA, and postdoctoral fellow from Children's Hospital in Cincinnati, USA. Dr. Vora returned to India to join Hindustan Lever R&D in Bangalore. She has been working with Unilever R&D over the last 23 years and has gathered expertise on consumers and products. Dr. Shilpa Vora is a strong business development professional, skilled in collaborative R&D, consumer products, and coaching. She has over 14 publications and 8 patents to her credit. Dr. Vora, I extend a warm welcome to you on behalf of all of us here.
Thank you very much. And it's an honor to really be part of your amazing journey that you're on celebrating women. So thanks a lot.
In fact, I guess there wouldn't have been a better person to flag off our Wonder Women Summit 2021.
Thank you. That's an honor. It's an honor to be here.
So let's start our, we thought it would be nice to have you on board for this Wonder Women Summit, to flag off this Wonder Women Summit. So let me ask you my first question. Usually STEM subjects have been historically male dominated, and young girls are often discouraged to, from pursuing a technical career path. What drove you to choose this field?
Honestly, I think I was probably one of the lucky ones who didn't face discouragement. I come from a family where my dad is an engineer. My mom also was pursuing her master's in chemistry. And I think probably in terms of inspiration, I have a brother who's 1 year older to me. And if any of you have siblings, you can imagine as a younger one, you get compared all the time. And he was a super achiever. So I think that competitive spirit was honed very early into me, saying if he can do it, I can do it.
Yes.
Very early on, he had decided to become an engineer. So I think it was, egging on, saying, what can I do? My parents actually volunteered with a medical NGO for many, many years. And I used to go with them when I was in school. And I was exposed to the work that they were doing in the medical field. So I was honestly quite enamored with biology and biological sciences. So that was the space I wanted to get into. But, I think seeing the doctors and the way they worked, I realized that's not for me. But how can I still be a student of STEM and sort of pursue what I like in that field? And that's kind of how I got into sciences. Interestingly, after 10th standard, I've been brought up in Mumbai, and I had 81% in SSC. And we were walking past Podar College, and my dad goes, "There, you can walk in and get admission, commerce kar le." And I think, no. I mean, there is no way. We're going to stand in line, we're going to do whatever, but I'm going to take science. And that's honestly how I ended up pursuing a career in science, or rather education in science.
Yes. So definitely we can call it as a series of very planned, deliberate moves rather than, happening to be at the right place in the right time. So it's so nice to see you, so focused. That's great. So going ahead, what were the specific challenges that you faced, and how did you overcome them?
Sure. So look, education is a big part of my journey. And I did my bachelor's in microbiology from Khalsa College in Mumbai. And I was very keen, like I told you, my brother was planning to go to the US and pursue his higher education. I said, man, I'm going to do it. If he can do it, I can do it. And unfortunately, all of us who have done a bachelor's, it's a 3-year degree. And most places in the US require you to have a 4-year undergrad before you can get admission.
Right.
So when I applied to universities abroad, I got admission in Cincinnati, which actually offered me, very interestingly, a direct PhD program after my bachelor's itself, and a full scholarship. Most other places actually came back to me saying you need to do 1 more year of education before we can consider you.
Right.
I was all of 20 years when I went to the US to do a PhD. And let me tell you, the way we used to be taught, at least I think things have changed now, is it was very rote, very, you had to sort of learn, memorize, and study. And I go to the US, I give my first exam, and first time in my life, I get a C grade. And I have never, ever sort of got a C ever in my life. And I was like, oh shit, what have I done? I fought with my parents to go to the US. I fought with them saying, I want to study further. I want to do a PhD. And they were like, oh, itna pad likh legi, fir ladka kaise milega? I mean, the usual sort of, challenges that they would have probably encountered. And I was very clear, I didn't want to give up. I really did not want to go back home having failed a course. And I dug in, worked very hard. Retook the course a year later and got an A in the same course. So I think one of the things that worked for me and continues to work for me is perseverance.
Yes.
And I think if there's one thing I want every student in this call to pick up is you need to work hard, whether you like it or no. You need to persevere. There will be trouble that comes your way, whether we plan for it or it's circumstantial or what have you. But perseverance is one thing that I would say has really helped me. The second one that I want to talk about, and it's probably more to do with also never saying no, right? It goes with perseverance, is to say, I can do it. It's a bit like what Principal said earlier, right? It's believe in yourself, that self-belief, and that, I can do it. And it's not like the family was saying you can't do it. I think they were probably more concerned saying, are you sure you are up for it? And I was like, no, I am going to make it happen. So I think that can-do spirit becomes really, really important.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you spoke about your challenges and, how you overcame them. I'm sure your family also, your mother, father, definitely, as you just mentioned, and your brother. But what about when you got married and, how you were responsible now to a family? When you are in your mother's house, things are different. When you get married, the whole equation changes suddenly. So how did you cope with that? And I'm sure your family has been very supportive, and, because that's a major thing in the whole scheme of things. But what was the role of a family in shaping your career?
Very, very important role, as you rightly said. I've had an arranged marriage, so from a background point of view, we both are professionals in that sense. We both were very clear when we got married that career for both of us is very important. And where I look at my husband and his family and how he has been supportive. When my daughter was born and she was a year old, my husband took a career break, which is probably unheard of in most Indian families. He decided to take a year off and be with our daughter because I was busy at work. And it's shared responsibilities. I can tell you, my daughter, I've been for about 21 years. I was with Hindustan Lever in Unilever R&D in Bangalore.
Yes.
2 years back, I moved to Mumbai. And when I moved 2 years back, my daughter was in 12th standard. And my husband and my daughter stayed back in Bangalore for a year. And I came down to Mumbai to pursue my sort of new role here. And to me, that's really the pillar of strength that I see, that we decided, look, it's important he stays back with my daughter for her education. I come back here. My in-laws live with me throughout my daughter's upbringing. So, to me, I'm a firm believer of family being there with you every step of the way, because yes, Wonder Woman and all that, but you do need help. Let's be very honest. You do need help. You need to ask for help, and you need to take all the help you can get.
Yes, absolutely. That's so true.
So
And I think many times some of us, especially working women, we feel guilty, and we don't want to ask for help because also we want to prove a point sometimes, But as you rightly said, it is so important to ask for help, and then you get it. So that's the way it works.
Absolutely.
So, Shilpa, tell me something. As a woman, what were the specific challenges which you faced as a woman? I mean, had it been a male in your place, he would not have faced those in the corporate world.
So honestly speaking, Unilever, Hindustan Unilever, amazing company when it comes to gender. I think we pioneered a lot of things when it comes to gender diversity, etc. So to me, never ever have I felt I'm a woman at work. Let's put it this way, in a very positive way.
Absolutely.
You're not sort of held differently. It's all merit based. It's all, I would say, equal in that sense. But very interestingly, I was the second woman manager to join the R&D center in Bangalore. And we did have women on our staff, but often, and I think it's the small things people don't realize. I'll give you a small example. In our women's toilet, I asked that I needed a sort of a bed for women who have cramps to lie down on, and nobody asked why or anything. It probably just didn't strike people that women might ask for this, and it was provided within a week.
Yes.
So to me, it comes down to, and again, it's advice to all women out there. Often, it's not that men don't want to do things in the corporate world. They just probably, and I'm talking about, 20 years back. This incident is more than 20 years old now, okay? They probably are just not aware of some of the things we might want, or that we require, that are different. And honestly, it's just asking. The minute you ask, it happens. But feel empowered to ask. And I think, to me, that is probably the biggest learning is, it's okay to say, I need this, I want this, because as an organization and as any corporate, they honestly bend over backwards to help out.
Correct.
I sit on the diversity and inclusion leadership team of Hindustan Unilever. And we bring forward so many policies ahead of time, because we are almost the voice of people in our organization, and male and female, I don't think it matters honestly at that point. But it's about being that voice of asking for it. And honestly, if you ask for it, organizations really work towards helping you.
Yeah, I'm sure. And now with changing times, as you said, 20 years back, you were reciting your experience from that time. and things have changed in India, especially. We are really more and more companies and cells are being established which take care of sensitive issues like these. So since you are in the domain of skincare and hygiene and so how so if we reflect, then has your perspective as a lady or as a woman, it has helped you solve certain pressing issues which have been in your domain, which is skincare or hygiene. So how maybe you are doing things better than so I just want to shout of you. It's like that. How has your perspective as a woman helped you solve certain pressing issues?
I wouldn't say it helps solve, but what happens is as a consumer. So remember, my background is R&D. So let me just give you a bit history of my career, and then maybe it will help answer some of these questions. I'm an R&D professional. After my PhD and postdoc, I joined. Hindustan Unilever R&D came to the US looking for returning Indians, and that's how I was recruited to join Unilever. And honestly, I landed up with my luggage in Bangalore. I'd never visited Bangalore ever in my life, and I accepted a career sort of starting in Bangalore. My first I spent about 15 years of my career in skin R&D and skin biology. And I think where it helps is, so I would say my background was microbiology and immunology, and doing skin biology, I think in one sense was fitting from a I would say a expertise point of view. As a consumer and as probably a woman who uses products, I think you just probably are a little closer to the problem. Not that I'm saying my male colleagues aren't. I think they are equally close to the problem, but I think you understand what it means when you're doing the work you're doing, what it means to your consumer. And to me, that gives you a lot of, I would say, internal energy and purpose. Because what you're doing is solving a problem. And remember, I work for a consumer goods company with a lot of mass reach. So whatever we do has a lot of positive impact for millions of people out there. So to me, it's a very empowering, I would say, role that I'm doing. Take hygiene as an example, and take 2020 as an example.
Correct.
So to me, being part of Lifebuoy, the way I look at it, the innovations that we worked on, the innovations that we brought out, I was able to touch hundreds of thousands, if not millions of lives, and made a positive impact. Because even today, that the one thing that we are being recommended to do is use hand hygiene.
Right.
And I think I've had a positive role to play in the journey that Unilever has had to play.
Sure.
So that's kind of how I look at it.
Yes, definitely. So since we are having this, as you know, we are having this Wonder Women Summit. That's what we have named it as. And we would want a Wonder Woman like you to help create many Wonder Women, So this one last final question that I would like to ask you is that what are the guiding principles that should be adopted, according to you, by young women who are ready to step in the big bad corporate world?
Absolutely. It's not as big and bad. It's actually quite nice.
You have to create a little sensation. That's how the interviews go, right?
Of course. I look at it this way: corporates actually allow you to have a much bigger impact than you otherwise could. So in that sense, the footprint is much bigger. So look, a few guiding principles, and honestly, inside of corporate world, future studies, no matter where you go, I think these become very, very important in my opinion. And these have helped me reach where I have reached today. One is your passion to learn.
Yeah.
Always be hungry to learn. I'll tell you, I've moved my career path, being a biologist, having done 15 years of skin biology, 3 years of hygiene. I was then asked, Shilpa, move out of your comfort zone. and work with tea. Last time I did botany was probably 11th standard. A very different category, a very different set of people, very different set of consumers. You know, kaha skin creams and kaha sabun and kaha chai.
Yeah.
So one is therefore hungry to learn, to put your hand up. Put your hand up to do something different, to challenge yourself, to push the boundaries, to be visible. Let me also tell you an example of about put your hand up for being visible. You today in a college, you look at students and you always look for, and by the way, it's the same whether you commune in the corporate world, that this student has a little bit more in them, like that X factor. Honestly, that comes from visibility. That comes from because you don't know who is observing you where and when in your career. And that visibility goes a very long way because somebody out there remembers you for having done. I'll tell you, I have been a master of ceremony for many of our annual day functions. And that just allows me, one, to connect with multiple people in the organization, but also gives me a chance that if my bosses are observing, they're saying, hey, kaam se zyada bhi also, she knows something else. She's able to, do something beyond that.
Right.
3, be vocal. Nobody can read your mind. Let me be very honest.
Right.
Be polite, but be vocal about what it is you want, what it is you're looking for. And 4, be there for others. Because somebody was there for me.
Correct.
I think I am where I am because somebody was there for me. Somebody created a path for me. Somebody was my was my mentor, was my coach, was my sponsorer. I think pay it forward.
Correct.
Pay it forward. You be there for somebody. You make sure you are opening up doors for others. You are making it easier, and not easier as in giving somebody a one hand up or something, but giving them advice to be where it is. So to me, it's a composite of all of that, honestly.
Absolutely.
So that's sort of where my mantras are.
Yes. I would request faculty members to please post any questions that you would like to ask Dr. Vora. She's with us, and I'm sure she would be more than happy to answer, take any questions.
Absolutely.
And so that's so nice. But any unusual experiences that anything that you would like to share with us in your course of working or studying
Sure.
that comes to your mind?
I'm just trying to think. So look,
yes.
unusual
You've got a huge span studying and working, and it's amazing. Yeah.
True. I think give you a small incident, and again, I think it comes down to what is my outlook, and it comes down to when a few years back I walked into our director's office, and he sat me down. We had a long conversation about, I need to do this, I need to do more of this, I need to do more of that. And I was just like going, oh shit, where is this conversation going? Honestly, at the end of it, he handed me my promotion letter. But a lot of it was about what is expected of you, and how are you going to step up to take on higher responsibilities, higher challenges. And often, I can tell you, at least in the corporate world, you don't get promoted till you're already showing promise that you're already sort of functioning that way. And I think when the director was having his chat with me, I realized he was already judging me as a promoted person and saying, you need to step up, you need to do more of this, you need to do more of this. And I think always ask yourself, don't judge yourself where you are today. I think that was one learning I had. Judge yourself of where you need to be tomorrow. And are you already sort of, if the bar is at 100, honestly, I've learned to set my bar at maybe 120 already, and saying, how am I getting to that? And not really operating at 100, because at 100 is a nice to have now. It becomes table stakes for everybody. It's how if anybody is a runner on this group, and they would appreciate it, because this is an analogy I give everybody, is if you're a marathon runner or somebody, just because you best said your time is not good enough, how are you ahead of everybody else is what matters.
Right.
So to me, keeping that competitive spirit alive, because I think, to me, yes, challenges will come, challenges we will overcome, but it's about how are we going to be one step ahead, how are we going to sort of keep pushing ourselves to be better.
Right. Correct. Absolutely. It's so nice to have your views, and I'm sure the students are benefiting greatly, immensely from this whole exercise. And thank you so much. I would now request Dr. Anjali Verma to propose a formal vote of thanks.
Yeah. It's my privilege to propose the vote of thanks on behalf of Women and Gender Development Cell of Srimati MMK College. I extend my sincere thanks to our principal, sir, Dr. C.A. Kishore Pishori, for his vision, commitment, and constantly motivating and inspiring us. Our special thanks to Vice Principal Asha Bhatt ma'am for all her constant support in our endeavors. We would also like to thank our Vice Principal, Dr. Mani Iyer and Dr. Ashish Jani, for their support. We would like to express our gratitude to Wonder Woman, Dr. Shilpa Vora, who has spared her precious time and shared her deep insight on the challenges in the corporate world, and also advice to our youngsters about joining the corporate world. Special thanks to our chairperson, Ms. Ravneet Sayan, and committee member, Ms. Prajakta Paralkar, for all the efforts in ensuring that this program is a grand success. And I would also like to thank Vibe for making this program live on YouTube. Thank you all so very much.
Thank you, Anjali ma'am. Thank you so much, Shilpa ma'am, again. And I hope when everything normalizes, and very soon we can have you in our college talking to us, and not on an online mode. So let's hope that. Thank you so much. Thank you all of you for participating.
Thanks a lot, and all the best to you.
Thanks. Thank you, Principal Sir. Can we please end the meeting? Principal Sir, can you hear me? I think Sir is not able to hear me.